The story continues and the plot thickens. Today we're talking about Martin's new standard series, but specifically the new 17 series guitars. Very excited to talk about them. I think there's a lot to get into, so stick around. How's it going, y'all? My name is Cooper Greenberg here at Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online, alamomusic.com as per usual, and please subscribe. Thank you very much. Now let's get into guitar talk. I feel like somebody added a cornstarch slurry to the plot because it's starting to thicken, if you know what I'm saying. We showed you the new D-28. It's a cool guitar. They made some golden era inspired changes to the entire standard series this year, they being Martin. And if you have not seen that video, go watch it. It's fun. I think that new guitar sounds fantastic, and all the changes that they made, while subtle, improve the instrument. Namely, the nut angle. I mean, I love the angled nut transition. I think it's fantastic. But really, the golden era bracing, golden era belly bridge, the bone and or ebony bridge pins, heel design, fretboards, beveled edges, fantastic feeling guitars and sounding guitars. But this is where I'm interested, because I think this is going to be maybe one of the more controversial introductions back into the line. So I'm holding a 00017. And it may look familiar to different people for different reasons. This is a D-17. So these are new introductions of the standard series. And first thing I said when I opened up these cases, which we filmed some unboxing videos, and I don't know if they have gone out or will go out, because initially it was just a bit of like a whoa. And it's because that looks like a 0015M, and that looks like a D15M. And at first I was like, here we go. Let me just drop a caveat in here. I was like, all right, we've seen it happen. They brought the D15E and 0015E into the Navajo, Mexico factory, made them a little bit cheaper, made them a little bit different, and they started pushing those, they being Martin. So then you got 0015M, still made in the USA, but prices have gone up a little bit, and the hardshell case went away. We're working with gig bags now. I started to see writing on the wall. We've talked about it on the channel quite a bit. You know, what's going to happen in the 15 series? Is that going to stick around? Because half of it's made in Mexico, half of it's made in America. Nobody really does that. So it's like they're trying to see who's going to win, who's going to be more popular, a little bit less expensive with a pickup and some features that I think people would like, or the tried and true American version. Now with the introduction of these, I have more of a feeling that the 15 series, in my mind, will probably fully move to Mexico, which I could be wrong about that, because as of right now, that the 15M made in America not been discontinued. And they got Streetmaster stuff in there. Like, what's going to happen with that? Let's put all that aside now and look at these guitars for what they are, because I think there's a few things about this that just make sense, and I think will make a lot of people happy. I also said these could look familiar to different people for different reasons, because if you're like me, I'm 28 years old, and I started getting into learning about Martin when the 0015 was a fixture. But also, there's been 17 series all mahogany guitars out there, and they're in their history. They're all over the used market. You see a lot of them on Reverb all the time. So if you're a 17 series traditionalist, you know, welcome back. So I'm going to start off with this guy. This is the 0017, and this is an all genuine mahogany guitar made in the United States. This has scalloped golden era bracing. This has actual 000 scale, which I think is a good thing, because there's some confusion there about certain guitars that may be called 000 that have OM scale. So this is 24.9 inch scale. Unlike the 0015M, but like the 0015E, this has what I consider to be a preferable for more players 1 3/4 inch nut width. So you got the 1 3/4, you got all hog, and it's very simple, satin finish, no binding. These are bone bridge pins, and like I said, with all the kind of rest of the new standard series stuff, it kind of falls in line with all those little specs. This and the one I'm about to show you have hard shell cases, and the D-17 is also 1 3/4 inch nut width, 25.4 inch dreadnought scale, but all mahogany, golden arrow bracing, fantastic guitar for what it is, and looks quite a bit like a D-15M. So current standard series, as we kind of know it, are the redheaded stepchildren of the Black Smoke 0017 and the Whiskey Sunset, and those are good guitars. I'm not quite sure what happens with them at this point, because it feels like they're reestablishing the 17 collection as all mahogany, made in America guitars with what I would consider to be the correct specs, the right nut width, right scale lengths, and hard shell cases. I think that they're winners. I think that there's an interesting shift going on right now, because one guitar that I talked heavily about last year was the Yairi FYM 66 HD, what I consider to be the pinnacle of an all mahogany guitar at this point, but the most often recommended for a lot of people all mahogany guitar that I throw out there is a 0015M. I like them. I think that they're great guitars, and I think if we can push, like, there's such a wide separation between those, right? That one of them's the old growth, handmade Japanese all gloss, all mahogany OM style, and then this guitar has always been somewhat a workhorse. And when I say this guitar, I'm referring to what the 0015M was and is. But if you can combine that workhorse quality with a little bit more premium spec from Martin, with a hard shell case, all made in America, and also with a great sound, because I think they sound fantastic, I think that it will find a new home just fine. They are priced decently more than what the 15 series was and is right now. These guitars are both at $22.99 right now, but I think bracing goes into that, the wood goes into that, the hard shell case goes into that. Like, there's definitely different aspects of this guitar that you can say on paper, you can probably write it out and say, okay, that makes sense. That's why these are more expensive. But I do think it's going to take a little bit of adjustment for people if, say, hypothetically, that middle ground 15 series goes all to Mexico and gets much less expensive, and then your next option up is significantly more expensive. It's going to take some adjusting, but I like what they've done with these guitars, just completely outside of it, not thinking about, me purchasing for one for myself, but for what the guitars are, how they're made, how they look and feel, and how they sound. I think they did a very good job. So I'm going to play a little bit on both, keep an ear open, and think about all the many times you've seen us do 0015M videos and D-15M videos. We will definitely, if we can, do some sound comparisons between 15 Mexico-made, 15 American-made, and 17, but by themselves in a vacuum, I think both these guitars sound really, really good. So take a listen. There you go. A little bit of D-17 as well as 00017. By the way, the hardshell cases these come with will be, if you're familiar with the 00018 case or the D-18 case, it's that kind of Tolex hardshell with the olive sort of fuzzy interior. Really nice hardshell case. They are expensive when you buy them separately, and so I think, yes, I'm under the impression that every guitar made in America should come with a case, a hardshell case, and Martin's cases are great. I think they fit with sort of a vintage aesthetic, but they're also very durable and very nice. So you are getting nice hardshell cases with these, and from here, now we just sit and wait for more new standard series to come in so we can do as many comparisons as possible before the old ones are no longer available. Very excited to see an OM45, a newly released OM45. And like I said in that D28 video where we talked about the new standard series, I've gotten some sneak peeks, and there's some wild stuff coming from Martin this year. The wildest of which is having 3 all-solid mahogany or mahogany similar triple O's of varying specs, all within the same $1,000 range of like $11.99 to $17.99, whatever the prices are now. Something's got to give, all right? So I think that we are probably landing on these, and like I said, I really like them. I think that they sound great. I think that they feel great. And I like, with all the rest of the standard series stuff, that they're going towards the golden era, because that's where Martin is best. So if you want to know more about these, read some specs, see some photos. They're going to be on our website. If you, like I said on the D28 video, if you want to be one of the first people to own the 2025 00017 or D-17, these specific ones are the first ones we got. They'll be available. These are the ones that the photos are of. So give us a call. Tell us you want this one or that one or whatever one. We will get it to you, and I think you'll be happy with it. But, go to the website, read the stuff, give us a call, come to the store, text us, email us, whatever you want to do, and we will help you find something good from Martin or somebody else. But for this video, from Martin, and subscribe to the channel, because it's going to be all Martin all the time. Sometimes, and other stuff as well. So thank you for watching. We will see you next time.